Education gives us the wings to fly. Hello, I, Vandana Saxena, the principal of Learning Path School, Mohali, am delighted to welcome to interact with us today Rishita Ghosh, and a student of Learning Path School, Mohali from the batch of 2023. Welcome, Rishita. We are excited and happy to have you with us.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I'm honored to be here today.
A student who's always been a high achiever at Learning Path School, Mohali, and participating in every STEM activity at school. Rishita, we would like to know, what are you doing now?
Currently, I just passed 12th grade and I have been working in a lot of science fairs, and it's time for me to give back to my community. So, I have been part of a lot of extracurricular activities like empowering visually impaired students. So, currently, I'm working with Plaksha University and IIT Delhi to foster visually impaired students in their STEM journey itself.
That's really, I'm very delighted to know that, and that you're saying that time to give back to the community means something has come alive in you as the LPS student. So tell us, where are you going to be in the United States of America, and where have you taken admission? Tell us about that.
I recently took admission in Syracuse University in New York. I'll be joining as a coronet scholar and a next senior scholar. And I'll be in the College of Engineering and College of Arts and Sciences.
Oh, that's great. So from an LPS star student to being a scholar at the Syracuse University at New York, how does that feel to you?
It feels really amazing. Coming out from the Indian education system, also venturing into a different state, a different country, meeting new people, networking, and all the support I got from the school. I've gained the wings and it's time for me to fly.
So you've come through the LPS primary school education to the middle school, to the high school, and then to the senior secondary school. Tell us something about the achievements that you had during the school life that took you to this admission.
So I started joining the school in 4th grade, and slowly at that time I had a passion in arts. So I used to fold papers into maybe 3D objects, and that kind of sparked my interest towards creating anything 2D into 3D. And slowly in 5th grade, I got into a competition called Skimmer, proudly guided by our very own STEM teachers, Gaurav sir, Aditya sir, whole of the maths department, and where we won that competition in that year. And following in 6th, 7th, and 8th till 10th grade, we had our STEM and robotics club that fostered and nurtured my whole STEM journey, participating in a lot of science fairs like Natural Children's Science Congress. There's international science fairs like the Russian Science Fair. One of the notable competitions in United States as well as in India is International Science and Engineering Fair, where I was selected to be the part of Team India and presented my project in Earth and Environmental Sciences, where I won the second grand award as well as a special award.
So the science that you learned was through how many activities outside the class? And did you really learn the science in class as well?
I was fairly a bit poor on pen and paper kind of test taking method, which the traditional Indian system follows. And when I was in my science classes, our teachers actually encouraged us in a lot of practical work, be it in simple topics or even like showing us videos. And that kind of like sparked my interest in classrooms. Slowly through STEM and robotics club, we used to work a lot on hands-on project. We used to have our Aditya sir from the STEM department helping us to grow different types of projects. And that's how I kind of had a balance between academics as well as hands-on working.
So I'm going to ask you a question which I'm often asked by students, that how did you manage your time between academics and activities outside the classroom?
So, whenever I start something, I don't really see into the time at first. I start with it, and slowly getting the momentum, everything kind of fits into your schedule. So, once you start, everything kind of goes into what you want to do or like how you are going to focus, and you know how much time you have to give in a certain area, or be it academics, be it balancing exams and as well as competitions at the same time. So it's all about the flow you're into.
Okay. So can you tell us some exciting projects or experiments that you worked on and that make you feel very proud of your achievements?
So in seventh grade, there was this interesting project that I worked on was expired medicines to enhance the growth of plants. So that was, as if they listen to it, it's a very crazy idea. But when I started working on it, there were many failures. But failures in science is still an achievement in my sense. So that was the first time I got into laboratories and work in kitchens, broke a lot of glasswares. And that was a fun experience in getting into hands-on sciences, laboratory experiments, and that kind of fostered my growth into lab research. And slowly in my 11th grade, I worked on a specific case study on Ludhiana textile industries, where the textile dyes are being degraded with a novel filter matrix that I created in labs.
Oh, wonderful. Do you have a laboratory at home as well?
Definitely my kitchen and my garden.
Those are the perfect laboratories to learn science.
Yeah.
So tell us something about what did you learn from the garden at home?
I love gardening, and one of my favorite plants is cacti. And in fact, I did a project on that too.
Really?
Yes. So I wanted to mimic the cactus scales of the scales of the cactus, and then how we can use it for coating on different houses for heat reflection. And it was also a fun project to work to. And that was the first time I made it to a science fair in IRIS National Fair. That's the one of the selection fair for the ISEF International Fair.
Oh, that's nice. Can you tell us a little more details about this IRIS National Fair?
So Irish National Fairs selects 20 people from 20 teams, in fact, from India, and they fully sponsor your trip to one of the locations in the United States, and they have the competition called the International Science and Engineering Fair, which is the Olympics of science fairs.
Oh, wonderful. So you were representing Learning Path School Mohali through a science fair. Was it in the United States of America?
Yes, it was in Atlanta, USA.
Oh, that's nice. It was part of your school journey.
Yes.
So how did that enrich your learning of science when you were back in school?
So during that period, 10th and 11th, 12th, it was around COVID period. So I got a lot of time in school and outside school. I had a good relationship with the teachers, and they were so willing to help me and connect with a lot of different opportunities out there. And through those connections, I slowly participated in those national fairs, made it to level 1, level 2, finally to the level 3. And after coming back to school, I was really empowered in the ways that I saw a lot of diversity there, a lot of networking. And from there, in coming back to the school, it is now time for me to give back to the community. So I started mentoring a couple of students from our STEM clubs. We used to have weekly meetings to kind of talk about how the journey is like. How can you start your own journey, in fact? And giving back is something I really look forward to. And as today, I'm also doing that. So, yes.
Yeah. So we are happy to have you give back.
Thank you.
Rishita, because that means that we've been successful with you as well. So I want to know that what resources or platforms do you recommend for students to enhance their STEM knowledge and skills?
definitely take full use of the ATL tinkering labs that are present in the school itself. The STEM and Robotics Club has amazing opportunities out there. They connect you with Niti Aayog, the government missions towards a lot of sustainable development goals activities, since we are going forward towards a renewable future ahead. And they give us a lot of platform to the students as well as a lot of platform to the teachers to upskill themselves. So upskilling is something that is very important in this current time, and you can do that in many ways, be it sitting at home just googling up and just taking up online courses like on Coursera or like MIT Open Courseware. And that is somewhere I spent a lot of time into to learn a lot of topics that are outside the classrooms, and upskilling into coding, participate in hackathons, collaborating. There's a not many ways where you can venture, and opportunities are endless. You just have to grab it.
So you're a self-learner and an independent thinker and a lifelong learner too, I hope.
Yes, definitely. And definitely with the support of all the teachers and mentors, that's where I'm here today.
Oh, that's nice. So I'm going to go a little off track and ask you that what is the role of diversity and inclusivity in the STEM community? And what can we do to foster a more inclusive environment? How can we have more women as part of the STEM community?
That's a very interesting question. Thank you for that. I remember when I started joining the STEM club around sixth grade, in sixth, seventh division, I was the only girl in that club. And at that time, I didn't feel much lonely. But slowly, when I asked my best friends, why don't you join the STEM club? They had some fears towards it. I'm not good with math. I am not good with breaking things, building things. And somewhere or the other, I felt that there's a need to change it. And in seventh grade, I told my friend, do you want to join me for a science fair project? And a couple of girls kind of volunteered for it. And then we had not one team, we had several teams to go for National Children's Science Fairs, then to CBSE Science Fairs. So diversion and inclusion itself brings a lot of perspective into the project as well. And they kind of bring in more working hands and diversify the project. And having multiple brains think about it kind of changes the direction.
Oh, yes, that's so true. The multiple brains that change the direction makes it more exciting.
Yes.
And more enriching. So tell us now about your future goals. What are you going to do? How do you plan to take it forward? How do you, if I may ask the most often asked question, how do you see yourself 5 years hence?
So I'll be starting as an engineering major and as well as doing environmental sciences in the College of Arts and Sciences. Far from like 5 years, I would like to work in the industry. I have slight interest towards entrepreneurship, startups. Maybe I like to give back to people. So medical, helping patient care, enriching their experience through biomedical engineering is also somewhere I want to venture into. And alongside taking care of our environment, sustainability, eco-friendly, then I want to go into environmental geosciences and kind of uplift from both the directions.
That's wonderful. It's really nice to know the mindset that's come out of Learning Paths School, and you're thinking of sustainability, and you're thinking about the environment, you're thinking of inclusion, diversity. That's really a wide spectrum. And as a principal, it's very heartening for me to hear from my own student. And what is the advice that you would give to children who are a little unsure about taking up STEM as a career? What would you say to them?
Only thing I'll say, just go for it. Just start with anything. And while you will start doing something, you realize that there are so many assumptions you have in your mind, but maybe those assumptions are not actually true. And you kind of get to understand yourself a lot better. What is right for you, what is wrong for you. Until and unless you explore into that field, you wouldn't know that. And you will just be left with regrets. So just go into it and kind of analyze what is your best part about it, what is your weakest part about it. And don't be uneasy, it will be fine. We have a lot of supporting mentors out there. They're just ready to help you and ask questions, and you'll be fluently in your journey.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So asking questions is the key. So one last question from you. Do you think the LPS curriculum is helping children to have unity in thought, word, and deed?
So LPS curriculum has a very holistic approach towards learning. I myself had been into several clubs, and they enrich your experience in different multiple ways in your personalities, gaining confidence. That is one aspect of developing your interpersonal skills. Another part is your academics, where it's pen paper writing, getting the scores, but the way of learning, the way of teaching, and the way of grasping a concept is unique because the teachers are very kind. They teach you how to make mind maps, they teach you how to link other concepts with another concept. So there's a very holistic approach towards study methods as well. And in terms of practical labs, there are 2 or 3 practical labs present, and you can volunteer for those. And in fact, the STEM clubs and all those clubs are there for you to be, and they take up hands-on experience into several projects you might have in your sketchbooks, but you're just making it in real life now.
It's thank you for sharing that, because it's amazing how you have transformed your personality through participation in these activities of STEM in the Learning Path School, and how you're thinking of taking that forward to the community. That's excellent. As a principal, it gives me immense joy to hear your story. Thank you for being with us, Rishita, and keep coming back to us.
Thank you so much, Ram. I really enjoyed speaking and talking about and giving back to my community. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you.